All right, fellas, we got a controversial one today, but hear me out. You've all heard of pretty privilege, right? Beautiful women who are extremely attractive. They basically get to go through life without ever having to worry about paying bills. They get everything taken care of. They get free access to things. They get validation. They get opportunities. From 0 to 18, their father takes care of them, or maybe in their 20s. And then they meet a man who usually has money, who you guess you could call a high value man, and he takes care of them, right? All because of their perceived value based on their appearance. And for women, value usually comes down to youthfulness and attractiveness. Someone had to say it. But for men, we have the exact same thing, but most guys don't realize it. However, it's not based on really the way you look. And we have the exact same opportunity. And the best part about it is it's not luck. It doesn't come down to genetics. You can literally build it, every single one of you. And it's all about being lean and jacked, which technically is your appearance. However, it's about the character you build, and it's really about being handsome and confident. And you can leverage this in everyday scenarios. And so many times in my life, after I finally built the physique and I maintained low body fat, where I started noticing this trend, and I said to myself, I'm never, ever getting above 14% body fat ever again, because it makes no sense. The amount of leverage you can get in career, business, relationships, dating, literally everyday interactions with your laundry lady is insane. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that and what it actually means to get this and how you achieve it. Because the thing is, right, in today's modern world, appearance matters a lot, more than ever before in any other society. Women get validation and opportunities for their beauty and youthfulness, and men get it for presence. But what do I mean by presence, right? A lot of guys say aura. A lot of guys say confidence, but really what it is the self-belief you have in yourself, and people can feel that energy. It's nothing science can really explain when you walk in a room, but I've seen it time and time again. The guys who are jacked, in shape, lean year round, like the way they look, they have this aura of self-belief when they walk in a room where they don't need to be validated by anything external. They truly believe in themselves, and that's what creates that type of energy, which gets you in rooms where you do not belong. It gets you away with things that you wouldn't believe. And the truth is, this is all about a visual hierarchy. And this is instant. People decide this in 1 second what your worth is. And when you are lean, jacked, and you have a good physique, you are displaying to the world that you have high standards for yourself and people should treat you the exact same. You respect yourself and they should respect you. That's really what it comes down to. And this happens in an instant. And, a lot of people say, I don't want to give a fuck what people think, or, you shouldn't judge people. But this is by nature. This is happening whether you like it or not. Subconsciously, your worth is being decided in every single interaction. And you have influence when you walk in a room. When we talk about that presence, aura, confidence, whatever it may be, you have influence when you walk in a room and you are in shape and you have the self-belief you build from building the physique. And it is life-changing. I'm not joking, you guys. You will never feel like you're drifting through the world and you have no control over yourself. Because I know what it feels like when you are not in the body you want, you're not proud of who you are, you don't really like yourself, and you have a low self-worth. That's what it feels like. It feels like every single day your fate's already decided. You're going to end up career, blah, 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 working, get divorced, cry for the rest of your life. But once you build this type of self-belief and that feeling that you are proud of who you are, you stay lean year round, you like what you see, you every single day you're attacking the day and emptying the clip to try win it, because you feel like you have an impact on your life and where you end up. And that's what we're trying to build. And that's why it's so important. That's how you get this pretty privilege for men, really the handsome man's game, handsome and confident man's game. And I'll give you guys a quick story about when I really started to notice this. It was right before I moved across the world. I was working a regular sales job. I worked from home, and I'd worked at the company. This was my second year. And I was working in sales. We had a bunch of different teams. I was on one of the teams, and we had different tiers. So you had like tier 3, where the people had been around the company for a really long time. They built up a huge book of clients, and they were making really good money. And then I was tier 1, just got promoted to tier 2. And so tier 1, I obviously did really, really well in my first year, made tons of sales, yada, yada, yada. And then I got promoted to tier 2, and basically the economy took a little bit of a turn, and it became a lot more difficult to sell because interest rates were higher, etc. And so I had already checked out because I had already planned that I was moving. I had already booked the ticket, and this was about 4 months out. And so it was the beginning of the year, and I absolutely just decided that this is it. I don't care anymore. I'm going to show up and wait for them to fire me because they'll have to pay me a severance, which I don't recommend doing, but, you got to play the game a little bit. So economy's turned. I'm not even working. I'm showing up. I'm logging in. Probably a lot of you guys who work remotely do the exact same thing. Log into my computer, don't do anything. And I went from making, really good sales, being one of the top guys in tier 1, to literally making 0 sales, not even making calls. If I'm supposed to make 100, I'm making 20. And I'm not even actually talking to anybody. And so I started noticing people on my team of 15, 3, 4, 5 people getting fired for poor performances, but they're selling a lot and I'm not making any sales. And so I keep having these meetings with my manager, and I built rapport with him. We talk about working out. We talk about our ambitions, our drive, our businesses we're working on in the future or on the side. And so he would always talk to me about getting in shape, how he can build a good physique, what diet he should do. And he'd always jump on these calls with me. And he'd ask me, Andrew, what's going on? What's happened? And I'd be like, I'm just really not feeling it right now. And then we'd immediately start talking about whatever else, working out, home gyms, yada, yada, yada. And I kept getting away with this, and I couldn't believe what was going on, because realistically what I was doing during those days was I was appointment setting and then learning high ticket sales or closing. As some of you may heard it, one of the best ways to make money online, especially if you have very little, if you don't want to get into e-com or anything like that. That's a different video. But I was doing that on the side and trying to gain some leverage or skills in the online world. But I got away with this for 4 months before I left. I never even got fired. All because I had a good physique and I was respected because my perceived value was higher, all because I worked out. It's insane. These people were generating the company way more money than me. I was stealing. I shouldn't say that. Allegedly, I was stealing. This is a story, YouTube. I was stealing the money from the company, technically. And I was allowed to stay, all because of what I had built and the earned status. And that's what getting a lean, jacked physique does. And this is one example. I mean, every single day, people are going to treat you completely differently. Every single interaction you have, doesn't matter if you're at the corner store, doesn't matter if you're seeing the laundry lady, it doesn't matter if you're going into a gym, going into a business meeting. And I tell you this from some of my client stories, ones who run their own companies or CEOs, when they go to big business deals after they got in shape, people treat them completely differently. They automatically want to work with you because of what it says about you. It's not even about the way you look. No one cares if your arms are 17 inches instead of 18. Or 18 instead of 17. No one actually cares in the real world. What they care about is how you treat yourself. If you respect yourself, do you have control? Are you composed? Are you confident? Do you speak with conviction? And you get all these things by building that foundation of having a good physique. You're basically proving to everyone that you are disciplined without even saying a word. People know it immediately just by you being in shape. And the truth is you see online that so many people are in shape, but in the real world, when you actually, go work in a company or doing business, everyone's out of shape. And it automatically puts you a tier higher, and people will want to work with you more, and it will make you more money just because it is rare. And people want to know more about it. Everyone wants to be in shape. It's not a secret. Literally, everyone goes to the gym, but only 1% of people who go to the gym are in great shape. Most people are still in that 15 to 25% body fat range, and they go 6 times a week. Every single business deal you will have will be 10 times easier because you're in shape. But it carries over into dating, into your career. If you're just working in a company, as the story I just told, daily life, everything. You just look sharper. It's all perception. Perception matters more than you ever could believe. And the thing is, so many guys, I've even seen comments on my videos. I see you guys. They say things like, oh, I don't want to give a fuck what people think. Oh, you shouldn't judge people these things. The thing is it's going to happen regardless, so you might as well play the game and leverage what you have available. And that's the best part, is this leverage is built. Literally every single one of you can do it. And it's not luck. And everyone knows what it takes to get in shape. Everyone knows the first time you get lean to 10% body fat, you build muscle. It takes consistency, and it takes getting over that first initial period where it sucks. You have to get over the skill curve. And that's why everything that is difficult or perceived as value in this world is hard to achieve. Because if everyone can achieve it, it's not scarce anymore. The value goes down drastically. It's all supply and demand. Basic economics, guys. I'm doing an economics class next video. But you get the idea. And so, for women, they get this at birth. If they are lucky, if they are beautiful, obviously they can wear makeup, they can get surgery these days, yada, yada, yada. But pretty privilege exists for women. But for men, it's built. And you have the exact same thing, right? It's the handsome man's game, the confident man's game. And you earn this advantage through discipline, hard work, delayed gratification, patience, and problem solving. And these are all really good traits or characteristics, traits, things to go through as a man to develop your character anyway. A lot of people kind of get upset about pretty privilege for women. And I think, you know what, if you're a beautiful woman, that's what you deserve. You're a sweet angel. But the thing is with men, no one's going to be mad at you for being able to leverage a jacked physique because everyone knows what it took. It's earned. And that type of status that can't even be taken away from you, no one can steal your muscles from you like they could steal a Rolex. No one can say it's daddy's money, right? Or you inherited it, or you had this family, X, Y, and Z. Everyone knows you have to work for it, regardless of your genetics, regardless of your environment. And that's why it's so important. And that's why it works everywhere in the world. Guys, I've lived in the West. I've lived in Asia. That's really it. But it doesn't matter what society you're in. People will appreciate it and they will automatically perceive you as higher value. And it's literally that simple. And all you have to do is go to the gym a couple times a week. And if you guys want a routine to learn how to do this, comment down below or follow me on Instagram and DM me at Bressai, the word routine, and I will send you guys over a 4 times a week split that you can literally follow for the rest of your life and keep making progress and build that aesthetic, jacked, lean physique.